Shalom ubracha heilige tzaddikim. So let's speak about lighting. Are there any restrictions? Are there any things that we should not be doing before lighting? Well, actually, yes. Certain activities are not allowed prior to lighting for about half an hour. And that is that one shouldn't involve themselves in something that can take time to do or get so involved that they will become distracted and not light. Or, for example, they shouldn't get involved in a meal. They shouldn't start a meal. As well, sleeping prior to candle lighting for half an hour is as well forbidden. Within halacha, there is room to have a shomer. However, I would say that sometimes the shomer doesn't turn up and a person should be aware of this. Try to stay awake, focused on lighting. I'd like to add as well that one shouldn't even start learning Torah half an hour beforehand. There's two areas that are permitted. Number one, if they're learning Hilchos Chanukah, and as well, poskim say that if there is a shir kavua, it's okay to go to shir kavua. Let's speak about setting up the menorah. So on the first night of Chanukah, as we know, the candle is placed on the right end of the menorah, and we add additional neiros each night. The newest one, which will always be on the left end, is lit first. The shamash should be lit before reciting the bracha, and it's important to note that the shamash should stand out than the rest of the candles, the rest of the neiros. Further, the way we light is as following. We position our hand in front of the leftmost candle that you are about to light, so that you don't pass over the other candles as we're lighting. We recite the bracha, and only after finishing the bracha, we light the candle. Once that candle has been lit, we move on to the next candle, and we continue lighting from left to right. How long should the candle be lit for? It should have the capability of staying lit for half an hour. Remaining beyond this time is muhuda. Therefore, it's necessary, for example, if you don't want to leave the candle lit by itself, to stay next to it, to guard it, and just to watch it. It's very praiseworthy just to look at the candles. Obviously not to use it, as we'll say in a minute. If a person needs to extinguish the candle, they can extinguish it after half an hour of burning. And if a person knows they're going to do it, you should stipulate it beforehand. The first night we say Shechianu. If a person forgot to say Shechianu on the first night, they can say it the other nights. Each and every night we make two brachos. Lahadlik ner shel Chanukah and Sha'asa nisim l'avoseinu. What happens if there's an interruption? So a person shouldn't speak until they finished lighting the candles. Between the bracha and the lighting, if one spoke, a person has to repeat the brachas, unless the interruption was for the sake of the mitzvah. A person shouldn't even answer amen to somebody else's bracha at this point. And as well, after lighting the first candle, a person should say, the listener should say amen. And if somebody else has made a bracha, a person could then answer amen to their bracha once they have lit. After the candles are lit, there is a hanhaga to say haneras halalu. And as we said, a person shouldn't benefit from the ner. There's a hanhaga as well to play dreidel, to sit, to play dreidel, and to be involved in dvarim of kedusha. What happens if a candle went out? So if the candle went out within half an hour, one has fulfilled the mitzvah, provided that there was enough oil to burn for half an hour. And if they want to relight the ner, they can relight the ner without a bracha. As we said, there's a hanhaga for half an hour to stay by the lit menorah and bask in the kedusha of the menorah.